Hello and welcome to episode 15 of The Pilgrimage on FM23. My name is Jamie. Coming up on today's episode, I've got two games for you. We are at home to Halifax Town and away to Woking. And since you were last with me, we've only lost once in the league, but we are now on a winless run of 4 games in all competitions, having drawn 2 of those and lost 2, including an FA Cup first round match to Shrewsbury Town. So let's get straight into the Halifax game, and I'll show you the team for that one in just a moment. Okay, so this is the team then that's going to go and play against Halifax Town. It is Maldon in goal, back 4 of Cropper, Burke, Kenyon and Burko. Glendon at the base of midfield, Weeks and Lancashire ahead of him. Kyle John on the right, Stevenson on the left, and Willoughby up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. My assistant thinks we should extol the virtues of home advantage. I am going to agree with him. We will pump the fists and do that, and let's get out there and try and win the game. And it is Halifax who get us underway. They're in the yellow, we're in our traditional blue and yellow home kit, and Burko has been penalised for that challenge. So Halifax will have a free kick, but we don't get to see it. Instead, it resumes with a Chester highlight. Kenyon to Glendon, back to Kenyon, finds Burko, forward to Stevenson. He cuts in field, lays it off for Weeks, who plays a diagonal ball forward for John. Lovely cross, but nobody on the end of it, and the chance is gone. So with 10 minutes on the watch, then I think a demand more. Ball's launched into the area. It's headed up rather than away by the yellow-shirted Halifax player, and they get it over the halfway line in the end. Cropper finds Burke, who finds Glendon into Lancashire, forward for Stevenson. Burko's ball to Stevenson in the left wing position. He's given it away, and they're on the break again. Norton comes forward down the left flank for Halifax, plays it back to Sparks, who gives it straight to Norton. The ball cannons off the defender, and Louis Maldon gathers, and that highlight comes to an end. So can we get ourselves back within touching distance of a playoff place? Not on the evidence of what we've seen so far, although we do win the tackle there, but not possession. And Norton is in, and eventually Stevenson gets it clear, and although it's returned with interest, Stevenson clears again down the left flank, although Clark gives chase and gets there. Deborah plays it forward. Kenyon wins it. Cropper doesn't even try to win it. It's played forward. Burko wins it. Norton is beaten to it by Burke, and the highlight comes to an end. Very scrappy period of play, but Halifax are beginning to assert their dominance. It's about time we did that. So as soon as I can, I'm going to demand more. And we've got a highlight, so I'll wait for that to play out first. In fact, I won't. Demand more now. Weeks with the shot. It's over the top. That will bring that highlight to an end, and it does. We're well down on XG, well behind on shots, haven't had a shot on target yet. It's been a woeful first half so far. Burke looks like he's not going to see the second half. So we'll take him off, and I think probably it will be Devine. Cropper to Burke. Plays a simple pass to Kenyon, into Willoughby, who turns, finds John. He turns away from his man and continues his run down the right. Deep cross, Willoughby beaten to it. Stevenson gets there. Can he get the cross in? He can. Willoughby's header is too high, and it's a Halifax goal kick. Johnson with it. Norton wins the header, finds Sparks, and it's played back to Bong, to Deborah, who plays it forward, and Cropper goes back to his keeper Malden for Chester. It's played forward. Deborah picks up the loose ball and launches it towards Norton, and it's cleared by Burko. Kenyon to Burko, played forward. Willoughby to Lancashire. John to Stevenson, back to Lancashire, into Weeks. John plays it over the top. Stevenson lashes his effort towards the goal, but it's too high, and Burke picks up the loose ball this time. Cropper comes forward, plays it forward for John. Can he get the first time cross in? No, but he pulls it back for Willoughby. Attempt is on target, but straight at the goalkeeper, and that is probably going to be half time, and it is. Chester 0, Halifax 0. So we're going to tell them that was disappointing, and we're going to make some changes, probably 2. So Harrison Burke needs to come off, and we need a centre back to come on, but we don't really have one. Danny Devine is the closest we've got. Let's try Cropper in the middle. No, that makes both of them worse. So we'll go with Danny Devine in the middle. In fact, we'll try George Glendon at the back. It's no different, so Danny Devine can go back in there. Right, apprehensive. Lancashire off, and coming on for Lancashire, we'll go Luke James. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. I'll try Kurt Willoughby in there for Luke James. He's not really any better, to be honest, so I'll switch them back round again, and we'll leave it at that. So we've weakened the team really, but with no option due to injuries. James comes forward, finds John, back to Glendon, into John. Cropper on the right, goes round his man. Can he get the cross in? He can, and the header from Stevenson is straight at Johnson in the Halifax goal. So let's demand more again, and we'll see what we can do now. Burko at left back. I think we bring Kieran Coates on there to play in the left back role. And it's crossed in, headed away, but only as far as Minahan, who finds Sparks. His shot is down the throat of Louis Malden, and he manages to hold on, and the highlight comes to an end. Halifax have been the better team. They have the better XG. It's been 2 poor teams though. Norton's free kick is into the gloves of Louis Malden, and that highlight comes to an end. So Halifax well on top at this stage. Willoughby, we don't have any more subs left, so the guys who are out there now are going to have to see it through. I'm going to swap Willoughby and James around. The slightly less tired Luke James might be a a better option up front, even though he's not as capable nominally. We'll hit them with one more demand more. And it's played forward. Sula to Mealy, and it's deflected behind for a Halifax corner. And it'll be an outswinger from Souza. And is he going to find a yellow shirt? No, he finds the gloves of Louis Molden. Can we get one more chance to get a goal? We might do from a corner. Kenyon with the in-swinger. And can he find a blue shirt? He can, but the header is straight at Johnson in the Halifax goal, and that chance goes begging. It's launched forward, headed up in the air. Weeks wins it, finds John. It's played through for Luke James, whose shot is beaten away by the keeper, and the highlight comes to an end. That probably will be the last chance of the game. We're into 2 minutes of stoppage time. There's going to be one more highlight. Souza, Norton is beaten to it by Kenyon, but picks up the loose ball anyway. Golden to Norton, and that's full time. Chester 0, Halifax Town 0. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode, away to Woking, and the team for this one is Molden in goal. Back four of Coates, Burke, Edwards and Burko. Weeks at the base of midfield, Glendon and Kenyon ahead of him, Kuyate on the right wing, Luke James on the left and Willoughby up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, the assistant manager is recommending that we pile the pressure on the opposition. Given that we're in horrendous form at the moment, that's probably a good idea. So let's point the finger and do exactly that. Go out there and cause an upset, lads, and let's see if they can. Willoughby to Kenyon, so it's Chester in possession. Edwards to Burke, into Glendon. Back to Burke. Coates receives it, finds Burke again, who plays it all the way back to Louis Molden. Molden goes left this time to Edwards, into Weeks, to Glendon, who plays it forward, but the highlight comes to an immediate end. And it is Molden with the goal kick. Short one to Edwards, forward to Kenyon. Finds James on the left, who cuts in field, loses the ball to Moss. Rolls, plays it back to Wilkinson, into Corboa. Ball over the top is picked up by Edwards in the left back position. Finds Weeks into Kenyon, to Burko, who plays it back to Edwards. Into Glendon, who goes short to Weeks. Weeks comes over the halfway line, finds Kuyate. Ball forward for Willoughby. Beats the keeper to it. And it is Woking 0, Chester 1. With less than 4 minutes on the watch. And that does lift us back into the top 10. And this is a Woking highlight, but we've won it back. Weeks to Kenyon, ball over the top for James, gets it under control, into Willoughby, and it's cleared. Coates brings it forward, has the shot, too much on it, and it's over the top. And we're still in the first 10 minutes at this point, with another highlight. Molden holds on to it for a very long time and eventually thumps it forward. Willoughby lets it bounce, has the shot which is deflected, and Coleman catches it comfortably and then thumps it forward. Burke wins it back. Glendon plays it back to Weeks, finds Kenyon, plays a ball over the top for James, who turns, cuts inside, has a shot himself. Kouyaté volleys it just over the top, and the highlight comes to an end. We are well on top at this stage, although still only leading by 1-0. And the gap to the playoffs now is down to 2 points, so we are back within touching distance if we can hold on to this lead that we've got ourselves. Burke into Kenyon, back to Molden in goal, plays it into Burke, to Weeks, Glendon, turns to Burke, Weeks gives it back to Burke, who loses possession, and the shot is over the top for a goal kick, and the highlight comes to an end. Approaching the half-hour mark, we've had one shot on target each. Ours was successful, and we've had a lot more shots in general. Coates to Weeks, Coates crosses, James with the header, just wide. So another effort just off target. Coleman's goal kick finds Johnson, who brings it forward. He's robbed by Coates, who plays it forward for Kouyaté. Willoughby is in. Kouyaté gives it back to Willoughby, who shoots, and it's over the top, and the chance goes begging. It's a goal kick. Coleman with it, and Robinson finds Wilkinson. It's played forward, but Edwards will tidy it up for Chester. Finds Weeks, who turns. Kenyon, ball forward. Kouyaté is beaten to it. Robinson's flick on only finds James for Chester. Weeks, ball forward. Kouyaté in the right wing position, crosses it. Wilkinson headed away. Robinson is robbed by Kenyon, who shoots, and Chester again missed the target. And we're into the last 10 minutes of the first half. Can we get another opportunity? Gap to the playoffs is still 2 points, but we are up to 9th, and still only one shot on target. Woking have now had 2, but from far fewer shots. Coates to Burke, back to Molden in goal for Chester. Finds Burko on the left, plays it in to Glendon, to Kouyaté, turns, finds Weeks. Glendon plays it left for James, who has the shot, and he's very close but just off target again, and that's half time. Woking 0, Chester 1. So doing well. We can definitely find another gear. Do we need to make any subs at half time? I'm thinking no, probably not. So we won't. We'll just go straight back out there, and we'll encourage the lads to try and take control of the match. Wilkinson to Robinson, to Moss, Corboa, and James wins it back, but the highlight comes to an end, and we need Chester to get on the attack, but it's not. It's a Woking highlight, and it's Corboa's corner, headed away. Coates doesn't get there. Moss does for Woking, finds Wilkinson. Corboa's cross, Campbell's header, Molden with the save, but he's offside, so we get away with that one. Molden will take the free kick, finds Glendon, who turns, finds Willoughby. It's played left to James, back to Burko, who finds Edwards. Kenyon to Edwards, ball forward, will be cut out by Moss, finds Wilkinson. His ball forward is cut out by the Chester defence. Burke launches it. Corboa to Robinson, finds Johnson for Woking on the left hand side. Back to Slater, ball over the top, will find Sadie. He turns, finds Johnson. It's fired to Corboa. Campbell back to Moss. The shot is charged down and then cleared. And it's another Chester highlight this time. Weeks with the ball forward. Hawkins header. Moss to Corboa. It's played forward by Woking. And Sadie wins it back off Burke. And he's been brought down for a penalty. And it is... Who's going to take the penalty? It's Campbell with the spot kick. Keeper goes the right way, but not quickly enough. And Fraser Campbell has made it Woking 1, Chester 1. So let's demand more. And see who we need to take off at this point. Molden with the goal kick. Willoughby back to Weeks, who comes forward, is robbed by Sadie. Campbell plays it back to Robinson. Sadie, Weeks scrambles it away, but there's a mix-up, and Tyreek Johnson has snaffled another goal for Woking, and they've turned it around to lead 2-1. We need to go attacking at this point, and we're going to need to make some changes. Why are we losing now? We'll need to evaluate. Hawkins plays it forward. Campbell flicks it on for Sadie, who's in behind. Has the shot just off target. Right, Kenyon is clearly getting some of the blame. So we'll bring Matty Williams on. And we'll shuffle things around once we've had the substitution. But meanwhile, it's Molden with the ball, launches it forward. Willoughby controls it, finds Kouyaté, who is in behind, gives the ball away, and the highlight does come to an end. So let's make that switch now. Matty Williams is going to replace Harrison Burke at the back. That's fine as it stands at the moment. We're going to take... who else are we going to take off? Kieran Coates at right back for Kyle John. And let's go demanding more. And our final sub is going to be Glendon, to be replaced by Darren Stevenson. And we've got a little under 10 minutes of normal time left. Can we snaffle an equaliser? Unfortunately, it's a Woking highlight this time. It's Moss to Robinson, back to Wilkinson, who plays it across, and Corboa. The keeper comes out, doesn't get there. Campbell heads over. Can we get one more opportunity? Again, it's a Woking highlight. Ball played forward. Campbell is in behind Edwards. Has the shot. Campbell is offside though, so it won't count. And this time it's a Chester highlight. Burko to Edwards. Into Burke. Finds Weeks. Diagonal to Kouyaté. Keeps it in. Plays it in for Willoughby. Shot charged down. It's a corner to Chester. An outswinger this time, and it's Declan Weeks. Can he get a yellow head on it? He can't. It's headed away, and the highlight comes to an end. We've been slightly hard done by in that we've had more shots and a much higher XG, but Woking have had more shots on target and they've made them count. Weeks plays it, in fact doesn't, eventually plays it back to Edwards. It's played forward. Wilkinson wins it back, and that's full time. Woking 2, Chester 1. Yet another defeat. I'll be back in a moment to show you the league table and tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, time now to take a look at the league table, and as you can see, our extended run without a win leaves us absolutely banging mid-table in 12th place, 6 wins, 6 draws, 6 defeats from our 18 matches, 24 points, 7 points now off the playoff positions. So let's take a look at what is going to come up on the next episode, and I think I'm going to leave it a while before I bring you back. So I'll bring you back for the match away, at home to Altrincham and away to Barnet, either side of the January transfer window closing. So we're going to get quite a few games done, and that will be on the next episode. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Why not leave me a comment as well? And finally, thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.